UFC Fight Night. I haven't heard too much about this one, so let's talk about it. First of all, what do we think? Right? Holly Holm is now approaching 40 years old. Well, I think she's 40 years old, and there's a lot of questions around that. And she's facing someone who has only lost twice in Ketlen Vieira. So I really think this is going to be a good fight. Now, someone asked me, Akeem, if you were a betting person, right, who would you pick? And I was trying to look to try to see if anybody else was kind of talking about it just to see if I was far off, and I didn't really see too many people talk about it. So let's talk about it, right? Holly Holm is coming in as one of the champions in the past. But here's the thing about sports. It's all about what have you done for us lately. So let's break down Holly Holm real quickly. Just going back to her last fight when she fought the number 6 ranked fighter in the division at the time in Aldana, right? Holly has a good left jab, right? She does a good striking game. Look, she came from a boxing background in a fight where she had 33 wins. So she knows what she is doing from a striking standpoint. She does a good job of mixing it up, engaging the distance between the fighter, right? You know, in boxing, you really have to be able to wait out and to see what your opponents are doing so you can see where you need to move, right? Moving side to side, whether you have to cut off the ring. So from a striking standpoint, she does a very good job of that. Her ring IQ and her awareness of what is around her, where's the octagon, where she needs to judge her distance from, when she needs to strike, when she needs to come forward. And let's not get confused by the age. Just because she's 40 doesn't mean that her intangibles that helped her get to where she is completely gone. It's all still there. And she did a great job of baiting Aldana to come forward, and then she would come in and let the combinations go. Whether it was forward striking mixed with a leg kick, whether it was a combination mixed with a takedown, which she had success at, right? She's very diverse and she's very smart and she knows exactly what she is doing. Right? Sometimes it may seem like, oh, this is a boring fight or she's lulling you to sleep. And then she comes forward and she puts the flurry together. You're thinking to yourself, wow, this is exciting, right? That is all ring IQ. That is all ring awareness. That has everything to do with being a veteran. That has everything to do with being an experienced boxer, experience in the MMA. That has everything to do with tactical and technical fighting. And Holly Holm has done a great job at that in her career. However, in the first round, we did talk about her age and saying that we can't focus so much on the age because you look at her, she's in great shape. But when you get a little bit older, there are certain things that start to deteriorate a little bit. In the first round, in her last fight against Aldana, she didn't start off very quickly. She looked a little bit still like she missed a step, right? The quickness was still there, but the hand speed wasn't where it used to be and where it should be. She didn't really throw a lot of feints. You kind of saw where some of the shots was coming from, right? So for me, I thought she did a good job of how she carried herself through the round. Now let's talk about Ketlen Vieira, right? She's coming into this fight. She's not the favorite. And I got to be honest, I thought that she would be, right? Because she's the younger fighter. She's only lost twice. So that was a little interesting for me that I saw, right? She's been progressing in the UFC since she's came in. She's quick. She's got a good jab. She's a good counter puncher. She's long. She has a good reach, right? She cuts off the ring well. She knows how to control the distance as well. Same like Holly Holmes. I think the first round is going to be a bit of a chess match with both of these fighters trying to figure out how they are going to gauge the distance, how they are going to figure out how the other person is going to retaliate once they throw a jab. Maybe they throw a kick. Maybe when they put their first combinations together, what is the response that they are getting? And I think the first round is going to be kind of that feel out process, even though I don't really think there is such thing in fighting as a feel out process as much as it is about gauging the distance and trying to figure out how a person responds when they're getting punched in the face or kicked in the face, right? So it's going to be an interesting match. In Ketlen's last fight against Miesha Tate, I thought she kept Miesha at bay for the most part. I thought she controlled the distance well, right? What I didn't like was that she didn't throw as much leg kicks. And when she did throw the leg kicks, she had some success in it. But ultimately that fight, I thought she was too big, too strong for Miesha. However, Miesha did have some success where I believe Holly Holm will have some success, right? And I think Holly will do a better job at that because Miesha took Vieira down and Vieira was the bigger fighter. Vieira was the stronger fighter. and Misha kind of took her down with ease. And Holly Holm, I think, can have success doing the same thing and put her in a better position to be able to land some cleaner shots, to put some better combinations, and to see what that groundwork is going to look like, right? But I'm hoping Vieira comes in and uses her leg kicks a lot more that she didn't use against her last opponent in Miesha Tate, but she did have some success when she did. So I'm expecting this to be a bit of a chess match between the first rounds and the early rounds, both women focusing more defensively more than they are offensively, at least for the first round. And I think they'll both have their moments as the fight continues to progress. But I'm thinking Vieira edges this one on points. I think she'll land the cleaner shots. I think she'll land better combinations. I think she will get taken down, but I think ultimately she will come out on top because of what she can do on the upright side of the fighting. And she's younger, so that leans me forward to thinking that she will be able to carry that punching power and that speed and that quickness as the fight goes on. But you let me know, how do you see it going? Who do you have winning this fight? And if you've been watching this long, then do me a favor and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.